So this is the Samsung Galaxy S. This is Samsung's newest Android phone, and you can see that this is Samsung's, at the point of recording of course, Samsung's highest end Android device, running on Android 2.1. And you can see, right, they put in a lot of effort in terms of the design. The design is very, very clean. Right, the front is, you know, it's just clean black with only one physical button. This is their home button, right? And of course, Android has some mandatory buttons that you need to have. The minimum you need right now is 3. So the other 2 buttons, like, will be this one, the context menu button, and the back button. These are touch buttons, capacitive buttons, alright? And the screen is completely capacitive. 800 by 480 pixels, so it's a high resolution display, right? And it's a super AMOLED display. If you want to find out more, just check out the Samsung Wave video. Basically, Super AMOLED is it's not just an AMOLED display. AMOLED displays, by the way, have very high contrast because blacks are you know, blacker. If you can say, if I had to create a word to say that, and you know, the pictures basically look a lot sharper. We'll show you later. The display is really amazing. Okay, front-facing camera over here. So one thing you don't realize nowadays is that actually smartphones no longer have front-facing cameras as often anymore. So this is actually kind of rare in today's day and age. Okay, and see other buttons. You have the volume control on this side. You have the standby button here, and then you have the 5 megapixel camera with autofocus, no flash. Okay, you have the speakers right here. On the top, you have the micro USB port. Just show you the port with a very nice flap actually. Yeah, which I like because it's not, you know, the kind of plastic that might actually just break off. 3.5mm headphone jack. We are very happy, just want to comment this, but we are very happy that at this point in time we haven't seen any new phones this year that do not come with a 3.5mm jack, so which is very, very good. Okay, nothing much at the bottom, and that's kind of pretty much what the hardware is like right now. With this particular phone. One thing I like to comment is that the phone is very light. It's really very light, yeah, compared to most other phones.
And it's like light enough to actually maybe feel a little bit cheap, right? Yeah,
speaking of cheap, let me just show you. This is the back cover. Alright, so it's not the plastic is really very thin and soft, so you can see I can just very easily bend this. So that's one thing that you might want to take note if you're wondering about how the material of the plastic is.
And also, it's not really flushed. Okay, so there's a little bit of bump behind at the bottom.
Yep. So it helps a bit, I guess, especially when you take pictures. You know, it gives you like kind of like a grip kind of thing. All right. So let's take a look at the software. So the first thing you might notice is that the user interface just looks a lot like the new TouchWiz user interface on the Samsung Wave. There's a little glass here. Just throw it out to unlock.
And the software is running Android 2.1, and if you notice in the just initially notice on the screen itself, you would see the bottom 4 icons are pretty much stuck there in every screen. Okay, it's pretty much very similar to a smartphone that we really love and know very much. And you know, as you can see, there are like 3 screens, but you can actually add and remove different screens by going to the menu button, the context menu, and pressing on the edit. So you can add multiple screens up to 7, and you know, save it, and you can also remove them, and you can actually touch on top of here on the can touch on the actual dots on top to switch to the different panels quickly. Right? So let's take a look at the applications button here. So you click on the applications and it shows you a lot of applications, and initially it shows you about it pre-installs about 2.5 pages of applications.
And yeah, so you just, you know, just want to take note about this. There's tons of applications the moment you just start off. Right. Yeah, that's one of the things that we found quite interesting.
Okay, and I think for those Android users who are very, very familiar with Android, I think the very first thing you can actually notice is that it's swiping from left to right, and it's not up and down, kind of scrolling up and down, right? And this is something that's very, very different with the this Samsung TouchWiz. Is that right? Okay, so, and one of the very interesting things is that you can actually edit you know, the icons and move it around and change it around, and actually, you know, just move it here and there, which is one of the great things about this, because in the vanilla Android, right, it sorts according to alphabetical order. Okay, and not only that, right, you can actually edit the first three icons below, right? The first three icons below, and you can actually customize your applications. Okay, obviously the home button or application button will not be able to customize the positioning, and it's pretty much standard there, but the three buttons beside it at the bottom can be customized. Okay, and I find that really very useful and very interesting in terms of the difference of what makes this Samsung Galaxy S unique by itself.
And one of the useful things of having the screen go side by side is that, you know, you can actually categorize, say, all your applications, all your, you know, say, social networking applications on one screen itself, and then you can just quickly jump. Okay, I know that social networking is number 4, so I hit 4, and then I have all the applications on number 4, and it kind of, in a way that you kind of know where the application is, you know, which is harder to do on a screen that scrolls from up to down. Yeah, so that's one of the things.
Alright, so I think let's talk about the swipe, which is inbuilt into Samsung itself. So let's go to the text, and in order to activate swipe, you have to hold and press. Okay, and this button, this context menu thing comes out, and you click on the input method, and you're able to select swipe, and then you'll be able to choose the swipe. Okay, and just show how the swipe actually works. Right, so you don't lift up your finger, you just swipe it around without lifting, and the only time you lift up your finger is for another new word. Alright, so that's one of the things that Samsung has inbuilt into this phone itself.
Of course, the standard you know, keyboard is actually inside still, so you can go to the Samsung keypad, which isn't too bad on its own. It's actually not too bad for a keyboard. So, you know, your usual kind of touch typing, it's touch typable basically, and there is a bit of a tactile feedback, so the phone vibrates a little bit when you push on the buttons.
Alright, so the next thing I want to show is the wireless tethering. So with all the hype about the 2.2 inbuilt wireless tethering that's available, okay, with all the hype of the wireless tethering that's available, Samsung gives wireless tethering to you on the 2.1 inbuilt into it, so you can actually activate it through this tethering here, and that's it. You know, awesome. Part of 2.1, which a lot of people have been asking for. Do note that if you activate wireless tethering, your battery life would go down significantly. So the last thing I want to show you is the camera, and Samsung has really customized the Galaxy S a lot. Okay, in terms of the camera, it enables a lot of different kinds of shots, and of course the point focus. Alright, and I think the major shooting mode that they enabled was they have is like I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different shooting modes. Another thing with the Samsung Galaxy S is the camera, or rather the video camera, where we can shot for 720p high-res recording.
So this was the Samsung Galaxy S. So as you can tell, it's quite a fully featured phone, and also just wanted to mention it comes with 16GB of internal memory. You know, Android phones don't usually boast huge internal memories because they prefer to rely on memory cards, but this one actually comes with internal memory.
Right.
And also it comes with a 1GHz processor, and this is one of the most cool thing to us actually, is that Singapore is the first country to have the Samsung Galaxy S. If you live in Singapore, it is already on sale, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, if you want to take a look, you can just check it out in some of the shops in the mobile phone shops in Singapore.
And I got to tell you, the Super AMOLED, it's awesome. The touch is really great. We have done quite a lot of tests on it in terms of all the touch tests. You know, the line test and the multi-touch test and all of that stuff that you see on the Android phones and iPhones and whatnot. it works perfectly well. So it's really awesome. It's a really awesome technology.
Yep, and also Super AMOLED also enhances display as well. So Super AMOLED is one of those technologies that not only focus on quality of the picture, it also focuses on the touch sensitivity, the capacitive part. So yeah, it's a phone that you might want to go take a look at.